All right, everybody. It says we are live on StreamYard here, so I hope everybody is doing okay. I want to thank Natchez Shooting Supplies for sending some stuff out to the channel. Make sure you check them out. Go join my AD page, if you will. Links in the chat box there. And let's get started with Tuesday night gun chat. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, but we talk about technically guns and hunting and calibers and bear defense and all that kind of stuff here on the chat tonight. If you have any questions, of course, put them in the comments, but or in the chat. We answer all questions in the chat, regardless of whether or not you have a super chat or not. The advice, of course, is worth what you paid for it. And so here we go. That's what we do. And of course, if you paid a super chat, it's probably worth less than what you paid for it, but we appreciate it anyway. So guys, get your questions in. Say hi. I don't know you're here if you don't say hi. So getting started a little later tonight. I had to go out and reshoot something for a video. One shot. Ended up taking two shots to shoot something for a video that I think is going to be a good video. So be looking for that this weekend. I'm going to be editing it this week and be looking for that this weekend. It's a 9mm video, but it is what it is. So all of that being said, I hope y'all are doing well and get in the chat so we can shout out the chat. Don't forget to visit our MeWe page and all that kind of stuff. We just released a video on the Glock 20 versus the Springfield XDM. So, go check that out if you don't mind. And let's get started with tonight's chat. And as always, first in here, well, he's not always the first in here, but he usually is Hunter Kirk from North Idaho. It's good to see you. Okay, and of course, don't forget to join my AD page right there. Chris Heistman is he's right here. Good evening, Chuck and all. Good evening. And good evening, everyone. David Thompson from North Carolina. Oh, I thought that was like a coyote laying across your thing. That's your cat. Okay. Good evening from South Dakota. Sodak in the house. All right, and let's see. Good evening, David Posey from Tennessee, and Anonymous F. All right. Did you watch that Meat Eater podcast with the bear mauling victim? No, I did not. Cool. What's up, Cheeseburger XJ? Man, I forgot to get that package out. Dang it. Sorry, I meant to send you one. Sorry about that. Apologize. I have forgotten to get that out. Just hit me up on Iris Directory and remind me. I'm hoping to get it done. I'm going out of town for a few days, so maybe when I get back. Sorry, I apologize, dude. So I'm glad you're still here though, and you're forgiving me and still watching. So that's cool. What's up, Emmanuel from Manitoba? It's good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Appreciate it. So we're just going to talk about some gun stuff. So one of the things that I did this week, I'm kind of copying Ghost Tactical, who has a podcast and chat right before this one. So if you haven't seen Ghost Tactical's channel, go over and watch Ghost Tactical. I'm kind of copying him. I put some polls up this week on my community page. And so I'm going to sit here and find those. That way, when we get to a lull in questions, I can talk about those things. And of course, some of these are pretty good, debatable things we could all talk about. Um, so I guess I will show that on the screen here. And we can talk about that. Let's see, present, share screen, and I think it's this one. Yep, here we go. All right, guys. So I put this poll out. 131 of you voted. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. I wanted to know where y'all were from. We got 6% of you are from the greatest state in the union. That should the state that's practically its own country up here, and that is 6% of you are from there. 21% are from the Western U.S. Looks like 35% of you are from the Southern U.S., which means like your state succeeded from the Union, in my opinion. That's how you define Southern. Um, Midwest, it only gives me 5 things. I had to put Alaska on there. So anyway, so only like 8 of you are from Alaska that voted in this. It'll go up tomorrow or whatever. Midwest U.S. 26%, Northeast Commie U.S. 12%. Some people probably didn't want to mint Commie right there. So cool. Want to just kind of know where everybody was from. So That's pretty cool. So get your questions in so I can answer your questions, and we can go there. Hey man, from Fort Worth, Texas. Cool. How's it going? And then Curmudgeon, Alaska. Cool. So hey, we're gonna have to talk. You got my number. Is can I come to your place in a weekend? Could I get like a train ticket Friday night to get there, and then get a train ticket Sunday night to leave so I can go back at work? Is that possible? Like, is that a possible thing in like when the bears are out in September? Like, I'm okay with hunting for meat bears right now, but it is what it is. All right, got a good question here from Dan O'Neill, good friend of the channel here. What about Chuke's new 10 millimeter slide shuts when you push in a mag? Is that a malfunction? I don't think so. I think it's an advantage. But he slams the mag in so hard, and he's got his thumb right here for his grip, and he slams it so hard that I bet he's hitting the side release or tapping it or has some pressure on it like that. That would be me. I bet it's Chuke and not me. So yeah. All right, I'll give you a call later. I appreciate that. But yeah, we'll throw Chuke under the bus and call it his fault. It's a malfunction, but it's a malfunction of the human being in this case. Luminous Dave, what's up? What do you do? I'm a school teacher. I think I've said it a million times. I'm a school teacher. I'm an elementary school PE teacher. I'm that fat PE teacher that everybody has once in a while. So, all right. So that's what I do for work. I'm an elementary school PE teacher. So that's that. So good question. All right, let's throw up another one here. Oh, got a good question here first. What do you think of Federal Fusion 30-06 165 grain? I was thinking about choosing that as my hunting bullet for Pennsylvania. I think that can kill anything in the United States and Canada and most things in Africa. Like, I wouldn't take it for Cape Buffalo or elephant, but I think you'd be just fine killing a brown bear with that if you had to, or if you were caribou hunting, that's perfect. Yeah, your cheeseburger XJ, yeah, perfect, dude. What parts of the bear are most delicious? The back straps. Do you eat the whole thing? It depends. Black bear, yes, you eat the whole thing, and you just ground it in the burger. And I usually mix it with turkey burger, and just I eat turkey burger. I marinate it in this fake soy sauce because I can't eat soy. This fake sea sauce, and sparkling water, flavored sparkling water. That's how I marinate them. It's actually really good. The carbonated water gets a lot of the gaminess out. It like bubbles a lot of it out. So yeah, on a brown bear, you got to get it before while they're young. You got to get them before salmon season. The black bear you got to get before salmon season too. And yeah, you got to get them then. And brown bear, the back straps, you got to grind it those in the burger. You're not gonna the meat on the it's too tough on the legs and stuff. So kind of is what it is. All right. Here's a good question. Plated or lead? Well, here's a question. I'm not going to call it a good question. Yeah. Plated or lead 22 ammo or solid nose or hollow point? Depends on what you want to do. I always say use plated. It does cut down on the dirt of a 22, maybe 5%. They still get dirty, but they do seem to like copper plated does seem to do a little bit better feeding wise for me. Solid nose or hollow point depends on what you're doing. If you all you have is a 22 and you're carrying that in your pocket for self defense, you want solid nose because you don't want it breaking up on the skin. But if you're using, uh, if you're hunting squirrels, uh, you definitely want some hollow points because you don't want it just going right through. If you miss the head or the neck, then it's going to. I've seen the squirrel cling to the tree dead because it didn't fall off. So, yeah, kind of is what it is. Yeah, 30-06 has been going strong since '06. Yep. Waterproofing. Any difference when reloading primer? Nope. Reload the primer, put the waterproofing around it. I've got a good shooting load worked up with a 165 grain Nosler Accubon in my 308 pushing 2645. Do you think that's fast enough for the Accubon at muzzle? No. No, I do not. Um, the the Accubon is a lot like TTSX in that it needs a lot of speed to expand. So my first caribou was with a 180 grain Accubon, and it was out of a 30-06, and it wasn't going as fast as yours. Mine was going about 25.98. The reloading manual said 26.50. I had a shorter barrel. It was going 25.98. And that bullet did not expand in my caribou. I was shooting shots. I hit the caribou 5 times out of 6 shots, and the shot that finally brought it down was right here in the neck. And it's just because I hit the spine. That bullet did not hardly do any damage to that caribou, and it was a small caribou too. So I mean, I would say that no, that is not a good load unless you are shooting inside of 150 yards. But you know, or unless it's really accurate and you don't mind taking neck shots out to 300 yards or 300 meters in Canada. So yeah, um, I mean, there is that. I mean, if it's giving you quarter minute MOA, screw it. Chuck thinks about the bullet. You go out there and shoot something in the neck at 300 yards. It'll go down. Um, Shoot in the back of the head. I don't care. Everything has ear holes, so is what it is. The 308 really shines with 150 grain bullets. So I'm using a 150 grain TTSX. It's going about 28.90 in my 18-inch barrel. That's pretty cool. With tack powder, you should be able to get that 165. Have you tried TAC Ramshot tack powder? If you get a chance, Emmanuel, try that, and you should be able to get 27.50. I think, especially if you have a bolt gun. If you have a bolt gun with a 22, 20, you might be hitting 28, man. So is what it is. Best deer bullet in 6 millimeter. The 101 grain Barnes LRX is it 101 or 107? I can't remember. Um, Let me look it up here for you. Barnes LRX is the best hunting bullet made. You can hunt deer to elk with that, even in 6 millimeter 243. 6 millimeter Barnes LRX. Let's see. And like I said, just go over to my AD page, find a Natchez link, and go order you some, man. And of course, I don't have any signal here in the basement. We'll go on my cell phone. All right, let's see. LRX. Yeah. Oh, it's a 90. It looks like it's a 95 grain LRX. Yeah. That's the best. That's the best hunting bullet made. You can hunt deer all the way up to grizzly bear with it. Um, wouldn't be my first choice to take with a grizzly bear in a 6 millimeter, but yeah, um, is what it is. CCI velocitors are plated hollow points. Yes, they are, and they are good ones. One thing I've noticed about CCI: buy all the same lot number you can. Point of impact and velocity tends to really shift from lot number to lot number. All right, they're great. Mini mags are like the best feeding ones, but from lot number to lot number, um, it is what it is. So, it is what it is. 150 grain or 180 grain Federal Fusion be better choices for this? No, it's not that important. You're fine. You're fine with 165 grains and Federal Fusions in your 30-06. Yeah, 150 grain if you're doing deer would probably be better. Up all the way up to caribou. Then 165 grain would be like caribou and higher. You know, but yeah, 165 grain you'll be fine. Less. It's gonna have less recoil than 180 grain too. Generally speaking. I forgot to pop my neck before the thing. What's up, Brad? How you doing, brother? Yeah. Hello, Patriots. What's up, Double ZZ Ranch? Hey, can I come hunt whitetails with you for free? Can I film a hunt for you on the ranch? I'm just asking. Where you at? I don't even know where you're at. So, John Doe, any experience with the 325 WSM? Nope, none. I tried to help a guy find all the reloading stuff he needed one night at Cabela's. That's that. And he loves that caliber, and that's what he has. And the ammo started getting expensive, and then it was gone, and it is what it is. What's a good accelerator to measure bullet speed and what distance to shoot from? What are you talking about? Accelerator? You mean chronograph? Um, get the Garmin and you put it right next to your barrel. The Garmin is the best one. There's a reason why I've switched to using the Garmin. It's the only thing I'll use from now on. What's up, Daniel Ravenstar? Hope you're doing well. Good friend of the channel. It's a good guy. M. Gabriel, how's it going? 380 ABC, best type grains. I would look for 380 ACP for carry ammo. I would look at the Extreme Defenders from Underwood. They're a Lehigh Defense bullet in Underwood. I think they make a 68 grain, which sounds light, but it's a solid copper, and it has the little like Phillips head screwdriver tip on it, and it's going to spin a lot of the tissue away. I don't recommend carrying less than 9mm personally, especially when you can get like a Sig P365 that's like almost as small as some of the 380s. So, yep. So that's that. Yeah, Garmin, the same ones that make the Garmin InReach and stuff. Garmin. Yeah, get that. I've never seen the Garmin until I saw it with you. Oh, I'm telling you, man, that Garmin is 100% well worth it. Garmin is infinitely better than easy. Let me say this: it's way easier to use than Lab Radar. Way easier to use. Not even close. Yep. Man, that stinks. Truck clutch issues. So, what kind of packing food do you carry on a hunt? Any favorites or ones you find you like? So I have celiac disease. I'm not the guy to ask this question. Answer this question. I have celiac disease. I have IBS, and so I don't eat anything in it that has milk, soy, corn, gluten. Gluten's the big one, and milk are the big ones. Pea protein, peas, apples. Otherwise, I'm going to be spending my whole entire hunting trip back on a log somewhere taking a dump, and that's not what I want to do. So that might be too much information, but sorry if that got put in your head the wrong way. But what I want to do is I want to be able to do that. So I take a gallon-sized bag of rice, about half full, maybe a little more than half full, and that's my meal for the day. And I take pepperonis. I take turkey pepperonis that are organic, and I'll boil the pepperonis in with the rice. You boil it long enough, it's pretty good on a camp stove. Um, it's good. Throw in I carry a bottle of Dijon mustard and throw in some Dijon mustard. If I can find some dairy-free ranch, I'll put in some dairy-free ranch, and it's pepperonis and rice. And it sounds terrible, but my wife eats it when we go camping. Like, it's good, or at least she ate it to entertain me. Sounds terrible. What I've been doing lately is just taking these loaves of gluten-free bread that I get at Costco, and I take 4 or 5 of them with me, and I take 4 or 5 packs of those pepperonis and some mustard. I just make me a sandwich. It stays good. I'll eat probably about half a loaf a day, and that gets me 10 days if I have 5 loaves and 5 things there. And I'll take some gluten-free snack bars with me. Um, so, yeah, that's basically what I do. So, when I kill an animal, after I've killed the animal, before I skin it, I'll eat something. I'll make sure I get something in me because I don't eat a lot when I go in the woods, so I don't have to crap a lot. So I personally, if I'm going backpacking, I'm going to lose 15 pounds that trip. I'll probably gain it back eating when I get here, but is what it is. So, yep, I do not recommend the SST bullet to anyone. If it hits bone, it will shatter. It may penetrate enough to kill, but I do not recommend that to anyone. Yeah, Sierra Game King's okay in the soft point. In the tipped Game King, it's not bonded, so it's gonna shatter again. I am big. Do not use for game. Do not use non-bonded, tipped, ballistic tipped, non-bonded lead bullets. Don't do it. Yeah, they're all bad. Like, even the Nosler ballistic tip is like a little bad. Like, they're gonna have some issues. And if you hadn't had any issues, you've been putting them all right there. Good, great for you. Okay, but if you hit bone, like big game bone, caribou, deer, whatever, if you hit a bone, shoulder bone, it's not going to work out well. 300 WSM, 26-inch barrel, 180 grain. What's the best powder for accuracy and velocity? I have no idea. I've never used it. I can tell you right now that I would go. I've not been steered wrong by the Barnes manual. So let's see, Barnes 300 WSM. Low data. Downloading. Open. Sometimes they tell you what the best powder is, but you know, it looks like, I mean, 180 grain Barnes. I would probably try Reloader 17, Hybrid V100 for accuracy. Those two. Hunter is in there. Ramshot Hunter H380 is in there. Good luck finding Reloader 17 ever again. Go find some old guy in the neighborhood that might happen to have some. So yeah, it's all GMO poison in your body. Can't take that load. Nope. Pretty much. Yeah. For 30 out 6. Don't worry about price, dude. Go shoot. Which one shoots best in your rifle? I mean, why are you asking me? If the 165 grains shoot better, great. If the 150 grains shoot better, great. Pay $3 more to get a half-inch group. Who cares? It's like, yeah. Been wanting to sample some backpack food so I can have something besides instant ramen. I've never done anything more than 2 days at the most. Yeah, it is what it is. You are a really great expert. Thanks, I'm impressed. Yeah, it is what it is. I shot a water jug that was only 5 inches wide with a 140 grain boat tail, and there was no exit at 100 yards. Pretty light, too, at 2640 muzzle velocity. Yeah, that's pretty light in a 7 millimeter weight. There you go. Yep. Would you get a 223/556 and a bolt action rifle? Yes, I would. Especially if I was planning on bugging out, like living out of a backpack and finding food and growing food, and I had everything with me that I needed to hike with. Um, I would definitely I would have like a 16-inch or 14.5 or 10.5 inch carbine, and then a bolt gun back there at a 22-inch barrel, like Ruger American, that would also take the AR-15 magazines. I would definitely get a 223/556 and a bolt gun. That is not my plan, so I think bugging out is stupid. You should bug in if you can. Um, why would you leave all the place where all your least resources is? It's one thing. I mean, if Russian tanks are rolling up the road, bug out. But if it's an economic collapse, just stay in your house. You'll be fine. All right. But you want to make sure your house is far enough away from a major city, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that kind of thing. Out of all the big game you hunted, like bear, moose, elk, caribou, deer, etc., what is your preference in order? I've not hunted elk. I would love to hunt elk. Um, my preference would be in order: caribou, uh, caribou, moose, deer, bear. Like that would be my preference. Caribou because they're big enough to actually feed your family for a while. You don't have to have 5 deer in the freezer. Um, uh, but you're able to do it by yourself and get a caribou out by yourself if you know what you're doing. So, and you're willing to work at it. So, is what it is. 140 grain of nozzle ballistic and 5 inch water jug that didn't carry through. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Like I'm telling you, non-bonded ballistic tip bullets are not for hunting. Okay, ELDX, SSTs, nozzle ballistic tips, tipped Remington core lock. If it's not bonded, you don't want it. If it's bonded, great. What is up, Bending Ballistics? How you doing, brother? Caribou sausage. There you go. Always thought it'd be cool to have a shortest pump AR-10 converted to something like 358 or 375 WSN. Well, why not just have a semi-auto converted to that? They make semi-autos and magazines for both those calibers. Like you can get those. Why would you want to? Why not? Why would you? Do you live in the Caliban? Like, like literally, do you live in the Caliban? So kind of is what it is. Okay, H4831, good powder for 300 WSM. Yep. Yeah, Burger hybrid projectiles are not for hunting either. Yeah, I've heard a lot of things about those shattering. So is what it is. All right. Scroll down here. All right. Mine would be bear mainly for novelty, deer, elk, moose, caribou. Yeah, is what it is. Yeah, they are a handful for one guy. Keen Eye Dawn, you are not lying. Good to see you, by the way. It's been a while. All right, yeah. They were a handful for two guys last year. Fortunately, we only had to drag the meat about 250 yards or so. Um, so that was good. Through the swamp, though, it wasn't easy. Yeah, unless it's a coyote at 300 in. But if you want to sell that coyote pelt, I bet it's not good. So 123 grain SST out of my Grendel at 2450 muzzle velocity. Yeah, actually pretty good. Yeah, yeah. Like once you get down to like slow stuff, yeah, mass damage and quartering away pass through on an antelope at 100 yards. Won't use them in anything else though. Yeah, there you go. Moose meat good. Absolutely, moose meat's good. I've been eating it all winter. Um, what kind of unconventional items do you take on the hunt? If anything, example would be like a tobacco pipe. Well, I don't smoke any tobacco, so I don't recommend bringing that either because of the smell on a hunt. Like you don't want to do anything that makes a smell. Um, Unconventional items I bring a tripod for my cell phone so I can sit up and stuff. I think everything I bring is pretty conventional. Like when you're hiking, backpacking out, you don't want to bring things that are going to take weight. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much GoPro. Like unconventional, not unconventional for me these days, but this is what it is. Hotep, I would say they're not good at any distance because Reloading Weatherby did a video where he shot him, with a minimum charge of 308, and the bullet was going like 2,100 feet per second, which is like his 600 yards in a 300 Weatherby. And man, he shot it through a pork shoulder, and it did the same thing and just shattered. So, what's your pack weight limit? Probably about 75 pounds. Yeah, I don't go over that. I try to go closer to 50, but what's up, Inamatic Witchin? Great channel. Everybody go check him out. Yep. I started packing a small sled in the boat hunting to pull meat through the swamp in Muskeg. Yep, that's what we did. Yeah, we used a tarp last year too, and a kid sled. But yeah, just a drag sled, a snow drag cargo sled is really good. Swedish Mauser has a 29-inch barrel, four groove right hand. I forgot twist. You like new Rex for velocity, but I get stability for trade off. Okay, I'm not sure what exactly you meant there. What's some things you won't leave home without? Water purification. I would not leave home without a rangefinder. I would not leave home without the knowledge that I've chronographed my bullets and have them sighted in, my ammunition rather. And I would not leave home without waders. I would not leave home without a pack raft because I'm not carrying meat out on my back. That's dumb. Okay, drag it. Yeah, carrying it 200 or 300 yards to your four wheeler. That's different. But dragging the meat out, if you're going to be dragging meat out and carry it on your back, no, no, you're going to be hiking miles with the meat on your back. No. So I carry a pack raft. I don't go anywhere where I can't float out. So that's that. Thanks for the response on my Acubon load. I've also got 150 grain Barnes TTSX worked up to 28, 62 feet per second, which has been my favorite loadout so far for 308. Yeah, don't touch that. If that's accurate, TTSX at 150 grain will be great. Yeah, that's what I'm using is 150 grain TTSX and 308. Now I haven't killed any deer with it or caribou with it or anything like that yet, but it is what it is. So to go back to this question, water purification, matches, and a lighter. Um, yeah, knives. I wouldn't live without knives. Emergency blanket, insulated emergency blanket. Um, 0 degree sleeping bag, that kind of thing. Yep. So NFA stamp collection is okay to bring, but not your coin collection. Yeah, yeah. If you want to hike out, yeah. Toilet paper. I bring 2 packs of scent-free wipes for hunting, and I just use that as toilet paper. it cleans a lot better. And when you have to, you just go wash your ass in the river. Like I know, but like with two of them, I can get through a 10-day hunt usually, and I'll be okay. You know, kind of tent sleep system. I've just got a cheap Eureka, and I've got a cheap zero degree sleep bag. I always recommend 0 degrees, even if it's 70 outside. At night, it can get cold, and 0 degrees is really warm when it's 40 degrees outside. A 40-degree sleeping bag is really cold when it's 40 degrees outside. So I measured my day hunting pack, not camping, at 35 pounds with my rifle on it. Yeah. Chris, hey, so like I'm want to go up to the North Slope again and hunt caribou, and I got the time to do it, and I don't have anybody that's 100% gonna go with me. So anybody want to go with me 100%? Chris, are you free July 28th through August 10th? What about you, Emanat Gritchen? Let me know. Um, so oh, excuse me. What is your favorite 10 millimeter barrel length? I think 6 inches is the sweetest spot. I think 7 inch is going to be the sweetest spot. The 9 is only going to gain you 50 to 100 feet per second over the 6.5 inch KKM I have. I like that 6.5 inch KKM. I think it's a sweet spot. I think the 7 inch KKM would do a little bit better, but it's a sweet spot. Yes, you do have to stabilize your rangefinder. With elk hindquarters on a big bull is well over 100. Yeah, yeah. They're expensive. They're huge animals. So is a moose. And what makes your garment better than the lab radar? I've got a lab radar, but I'm looking at the garment. Um, the lab radar has to have 100 to 150 yards for it to judge that bullet. The Garmin only needs about 50. Um, once I shoot the Garmin, once I'm ready to shoot, I don't have to press buttons in between and get it ready again. I've seen a lot of people like press buttons in between on their lab radar. Um, it can do a lot of the things that the lab radar can do. It's much smaller. You just scroll to what you want, hit enter, and you're good. You don't have to like the setup on the lab radar is really really big. So yep, definitely summer is coming by. I grew up packing for everyone. My dad volunteered me for now. I try not to pack. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so the Acuron long range bullets, they should perform down to about 1500. Um, if you're getting below about 21, maybe 2200 with the Acubon, you're pushing it close. So you're definitely pushing it close there. All right. You hear any good things about the Trijicon scopes? Yes. The ones with the fiber and optic. And the Outfielder, I found the sun is basically out all day. I like the idea. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. So salmon will be here in a few weeks. There you go. All the way up there, huh? Yeah. Yeah, they're good, dude. All of the Trijicons are good stuff. I have not tried that for sealing primers before. I used to just use primer sealant. So kind of is what it is there. All right. Do you think the Gerson Witness Hunter 10 millimeter 6 inch barrel is a good start of 2011? Yes, I'm pretty sure it's not a. Is it a 2011 with the double stack or is it a 1911 single stack? Um, yeah, let me know. I think that Witness Hunter or the Gerson one is yeah. I think it's a pretty good gun. Yeah. If I could get to go to Alaska, I would go, but I don't really hunt. I'm a great spotter. Yeah. Well, if I need you, I'll let you know. I would love to, but I'm stuck in Georgia for a good while now. I won't be free at that time, unfortunately. Horrendous amounts of overtime. My buddy and I are to try to do that hunt in mid to late September with archery and taking a rifle if we get to 5 miles. Yeah, good luck. Mid September, mid to late September, it's going to be snow on the ground too. Looking forward to it. I was going to go up caribou hunting with Adam, but I need to get my bow worked on, so no go for me this year. All right. I have not used long shot. I do not do a hot tent. I make a fire sometimes. So hey, like early August hunting caribou, it can be 88, 90 degrees in the day. You don't need a fire. Like I didn't make a fire the last hunt. 2 hunts ago with bullets for bucks, I made a fire, but that was mainly to dry out clothes. So, oh, here's Montana Musings jumping in. How you doing, Montana Musings? What's up, Steve?
Hey, doing real good.
That's
Doing
good.
real
Yeah,
good.
we're just talking different questions. Have you ever roasted some of the game you harvested over the open flames? Bullets for Bucks did, but he didn't share. So I don't usually harvest open flames. If I do like a wilderness grayling, I might do something then, because they say grayling's good if you fix it right there over the open flame. So, what about you? Do you ever go out hunting and make a hot tent with like the stove in the tent and everything, or?
No, we usually have everything pre-cooked, like just game we've shot during the year, duck season and whatnot, and just making stew, that type of thing. Yeah, I've never actually just sliced something off the old hind quarter and fried it up or anything. So
I heard that. Yeah, okay. All right. No doubt about it. I highly recommend the Garmin rangefinder. I have not tried the Garmin rangefinder. I have a Sig Kilo and they work well. So they work really well. All right, James, I'd love to go elk hunting with you. I'd take my 338 Lapua Magnum and a 45 ACP 1911 sidearm. Cool, James. Where are we going? What state do you live in that you have elk? So everybody think Alaska has elk. It has like just a small population on a couple of islands. It's more expensive for me to hunt elk here than it would be to go down and hunt elk in the lower 48. So
were those plants that were put there with the program from the government,
yeah,
or?
yeah, I think they were too. I don't think they were naturally there for a while, but the interior of Alaska doesn't have elk naturally. It never had. It's not in the fossil record. It's no like they'd be great. I mean, they'd do well here. I mean, but just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I do fish when I take a big game hunt, but not much. Yeah, I'm going to the Hall Road. That's right. Okay, cool. That's good to know. They're probably the Sealy optics that I have on my channel. They look exactly the same. They're made in the same factory with a different name on them, buddy. So, do you
Yeah,
need
I've had good
synthetic?
luck with my Sealy.
Yep, me too. My 3 or 4 of them now. Do you need synthetic and stainless for Alaska? No, no. I have some blued and wood guns, and they work fine. I don't take them out when it's you know gonna have a temperature swing of 70 in the day and or 60 during the day or 50 during the day and 20 at night or 0 at night. I don't take them out and that stuff. So, but yeah, you don't need that. I recommend synthetic and Cerakoted personally. What about for Montana there, Steve?
Um, it's we don't. I don't think we. It just depends. I don't like to take my stuff out, especially just even if it's just if it's hunting, I take what I've got and I don't really worry about it. I just try to take care of it. Um, and some of these long distance shoots and whatnot that we've been doing, if the weather is just so bad, I just I'm old enough to know that I don't really need to do it and have to take my gun completely apart and clean it, and it's just I just don't participate then. So yeah, but when I'm hunting, you just take what you've been shooting and you try to take care of it. I do have some rifle covers and whatnot that Everly stock makes a nice one. It just covers up the scope and most of the gun, um, just for packing it around. And you can also strap it to your pack still with that on there. So that's what I use.
Cool. All right, Daniel Ravenstar. I've been thinking about getting an extra hard cast 10 mm barrel as a backup. Do you recommend KKM or other brands? Uh, Glock Model 40 KKM. I recommend a KKM 7-inch in the Glock Model 40. Got a long gun anyway. Why not have the barrel stick out a little bit? That way, if you put the barrel into the bear when he's attacking you, you're not pushing the slide back. The barrel's sticking out a little bit. So there's that. Do they got Arasakas in Alaska? Not as many as you would think. I'm sure there's some still buried on some of the islands, but not as many as you would think. Let's see. I'll be there the 10th through the 20th of August hunting. Would you suggest a face net for the bugs? Absolutely, yes. Howsoever, they weren't that bad last year when I got out hunting on August 6th. They weren't that bad. The year before, when I got out hunting on August 1st, they stormed us. But you just don't know. So, saying good evening to you, David Martin. 9 mm for the hoods, 10 mm for the woods. There you go. Yep. Okay, cool. Good to know that Barstow barrels are amazing. But aren't they filed to fit? Don't you have to file them in to fit correctly? They're semi drop in or something like that. Like I don't do that crap. Give me a drop in barrel. So 6.5 KKM in my G40 has been great. I'm telling you, man. It's awesome. Wish I could say that. I live in Northeast Georgia. My kid is moving me and my wife to South Dakota, eastern part. At least I'll get to help elk hunt and other big game. I don't think they have elk in southeastern South Dakota, eastern part of South Dakota. I think you have to go to the western part, and I think they're very, very. I think you have to go from uh over the border into Montana or Wyoming, right? All right, Steve. Like,
Yeah,
do
I
they have?
would.
Go
I
ahead.
think they have done some transplanting of elk in South Dakota. Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation has done some of that, and so I think there's some there. I'm not exactly sure where, but yeah, you get into the eastern part of the state, into the breaks. That's where you find some big elk in there, some trophy elk, and then of course along the mountain front, there's lots of elk there. So, and some pretty nice trophy ones down in the down around the Hamilton area and stuff like that. There was a nice one taken out last year that my son actually got to see. That was a monster. It was a 7x7, probably 360.
Oh wow,
So
yeah, that's a good one. The same way with the blacktails. Yep. Elk and kelp is all you need. Okay. Not sure what that is, but cool. I love and miss South Dakota. Lived there 7 years in the Black Hills. There you go. The elk in Alaska and most of those Pacific Canadian islands came from the Hoh River herd in Washington state in the late 1800s and early 1900s. A homesteader's daughter captured calves and sold them. Good to know. I don't have experience with Barstow versus KKM. I just have experience with KKM and Lone Wolf, and I would take KKM over Lone Wolf any day of the week. Sorry, Lone Wolf, but you've sent me two barrels that wouldn't feed hardcast. So Barstow barrels, I've always seen them as semi drop in, and I would not. I don't want to start filing on a barrel to make it semi drop in. Yeah, no. Oh, so she sold them both to the U.S. and Canadian governments. Okay, so there we go. Got first-hand report source there. Thanks, Chris. There's moose and other big game we can do up there, and I'm gonna buy some land in Alaska near Mount McKinley mainly. That'd be Mount Denali. Nobody calls it McKinley up here. I mean, yeah, I know, understand a lot of people don't hate it because it was uh, President Obama who changed it back officially to Denali. But everybody called it Denali up here. Like you don't call, like I would never say Mount McKinley. And it's just because Denali is the Athabascan word for the Great One, and when you see the mountain, that's what it is. It doesn't need to be named after a murdered president. Like it really doesn't. Like so, that's the one good thing Obama did, maybe. maybe. So do I throw my gun in the walk-in freezer for a couple hours to see if it's rated for Alaska? No. Don't do anything stupid to your gun. Are you coming up here to hunt in November or through March? Then no, don't worry about it. I dream of brown bear hunting in Alaska when I can afford it, and if I'd love you to do it for you to join me. Here's the thing about brown bear hunting in Alaska: you have to hire a legal guide. I am not a legal guide. I do not have my guidance license. You have to have it as a business. It's expensive every year. Um, yeah, you have to hire a guide for brown bear hunting. So good luck. You're gonna fork over 20 grand to do it. Like that's the guiding fee. So good luck.
Oh, cow.
Yep. Good luck. You're better off going over to Montana.
Right.
Okay. Do you think I should bring my 12-pound 300 Ultra or my 8-pound 7 millimeter OA? I'm fairly stout, but I'm still undecided. For caribou, you're doing the 5 mile hunt out, Joe. Joe W. He's doing that. I go with 8-pound rifle, dude. Gonna be taking a lot of that. Yeah, I go 8-pound rifle. I mean, I have an 8.5 pound 300 Win Mag, but you know, I would take an 8-pound rifle, dude. There's so much you got to carry. You got to carry your food. You got to carry your knives. You got to carry your tent, your sleeping bag, your sleeping pad, so that you're not sleeping on the ground, and then get cold from the ground. You got and back hurt and all that kind of stuff. You got to carry. In my case, I'm gonna pack it out on a pack raft, so I got to carry my pack raft. I got to carry my oars for my pack raft. I've got to carry, you know, let's see, what else do I got to carry? I've got to carry knives. I've got to carry gutting gloves. I got to carry bug spray. I've got to carry a bug net. I've got to carry my ammo. I've got to carry. Yeah, it's just is what it is. What do you think? Should he go 12-pound 300 Ultra or 8-pound 7 millimeter 08?
Um, I think you should always go light. And I don't know what your average distance of a shot is up there. That would be somewhat determinant, but
Um,
150 yards.
Shit, I haven't shot a caribou below 212 yards. That's been
Oh
my
yeah,
shortest shot on a caribou. My moose was 200 yards. I've got a brown bear at 88 yards, which was kind of surprising given it was on open tundra. But it stalked me. Um, so that was nice of him. Um, I had a black bear at 319 yards. My longest shot on a caribou was 459. I should have taken a 542 shot last year, and I didn't take it, but I should have, looking back on it. Um, so yeah, there is that. The 7 millimeter 08 is capable of making all of that, though. Just if he's good enough, if Joe's good enough with a 7 millimeter 08. If
right.
not, he needs to bring a 300 Ultra. But you might want to look at, if it's the
I
hunt
mean,
of a lifetime.
I'd be
Yeah,
looking at no more than 300 yards with a 7 mm 08. But for
yeah, yeah. And I've carried 6.5 Creedmoor before, and that was my thing. I sighted it in at 300 yards, and I said no more than 400.
right,
And it's just because it's a 6.5 Creedmoor. It doesn't have that much energy compared to a lot of the older hunting rounds, and even compared to 7 millimeter 08, it's got 100 foot-pounds less at the muzzle. Um,
right,
so yeah, I still say you can make the shot with the correct bullet, 7 millimeter 08. You know, I think your projectile selection is going to be more important than your gun. So, what load would you carry in the 300 Ultra? What load would you carry in the 7 millimeter 08? And then I'll tell you the answer. I think your
right.
projectile is there. Can you scout with drones in either state? Not Alaska. Nope.
No,
Yep.
definitely not.
Caribou are the only ruminate that care about you. yeah, 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 yeah. Ha ha ha. It's a play on words. Um, I ain't gonna lie though. That one came running up to my buddy last year. Twice it ran to within 10 yards of him. So And I handed him my rifle because we only took one rifle between the two of us. He's chasing these caribou butt naked because when I handed him my rifle, he was bathing in the river, and that's why I said I should have taken the shot at 542 yards. So he gets to with 28 yards of these, and he doesn't know to turn the scope down on the power to find them. So we ended up not getting a caribou because of that stupid mistake he didn't know.
Yeah.
But he was chasing the caribou butt ass naked, running across this island in the middle of the river, right? And so I learned a very important lesson: don't hand a naked man your rifle. It's a very important lesson. Um, so
And if you do have the cameras rolling.
yeah, right. A little blurred out screen. Yeah, but no. 3 days later, he goes on a hike, and I'm sitting there in camp just watching this cow caribou. I I'm laying down, all right, taking a nap. The cow caribou lays down, takes a nap. I've been watching her for hours. She's in the middle of the riverbed, about 800 yards away, and cows weren't legal. And all of a sudden, I wake up from another nap, and there's my buddy standing there with this big blue pack raft. He had walked upstream, was pack rafting back down to our camp, right? And so he had done that, and this caribou just runs up to him twice within 10 yards of him. And I told him, "That's your girlfriend, man. You've had a hard time finding a girl in Alaska. She talked to those bulls the other night, found out how ginormously slung you were. All right. And she wants some of that, dude. I mean, you've had a hard time finding a girl in Alaska. And that's what she just ran right up to you, and you wouldn't have her, and you can't be picky these days, dude. So that that's that's what I've been telling him. So been giving him a hard time on that. I go every time he dates a new girl, I go, "Hey, have you told her about your caribou girlfriend?" You know. So you know, just want you to know. So let's see. What's up, Justy Pearman for North Sea? How you doing? Um, Price acre for land in Alaska. Anyone know? I passed 21 acres today, selling firm at $295,000. So what is that? Little
Jeez.
over, yeah. So, yeah, that was with a good view on the road system, that kind of thing. Like you can find some dirt cheap plots of lands but you got to get an airplane to get to them. An airplane and a hike usually, or a snowmobile trip in the winter, or snow machine trip in the winter. So what about down there in Montana?
Oh, I don't. I mean, about the only thing I know about land prices would be, some of the farm ground and stuff around here, but it's it runs between $2,000 and $3,000 an acre, I suppose. Um, but huntable land along the mountain front, I'm not sure what that stuff runs these days. Maybe 10,000 an acre.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah. I miss the caribou. They used to be around my area, Alaska. Get them imported, man. Talk to the game. We should start a Caribou United or Caribou Unlimited, like Duck Hunters Unlimited. So take care. Take care, Glitch, and you're probably already gone, but have a good one. Rich B, I'm new to rifles. I have a few 22 long rifles and an AR-15, 223, 506. My son is interested in deer hunting next season here in Virginia. What would be a good rifle to move on up to for deer hunting? 6.5 Creedmoor. It's
Yeah.
not going to kick you that bad, and you know, use a good solid bullet that expands. Don't use the LDX, but use a good solid bullet that expands, like Federal Fusion or Federal Terminal Ascent, or you could use 120 grain TTSX from Barnes, but the 127 grain LRX is going to be better. I'd say 6.5 Creedmoor. If
Hmm.
you're new to rifles and you don't want to get kicked the fool out of you, yeah, absolutely. 243 Winchester, kind of is what it is. Um, if you can, and it's legal, and you can get 5-round mags for it, bump on up to an AR-10 and use a 308. That's not going to kick at all. It's going to be heavy, but you're just walking to a deer stand and you're not carrying it all day backpacking like I do here in Alaska. Yeah, kind of is what it is. So a good rifle to move up to would be, I would say, a 308 AR-10. You're already familiar with all the controls because and if you're on my arms directory page, whenever Aero Precision or Palmetto State is having a sale, I put the links on my arms directory page, dude. So if you're already on there, you can find the parts cheap and put it together. You know, you can put together an AR-10 for like an arrow for like less than $900, and a PSA for less than $700 most of the time.
Right.
And
Yep.
and they'll shoot MOA if you're willing to put in the work and find the right load for them. The arrow will shoot much better than the PSA. Like I got 3 or 4 loads that are right at inch groupers in my arrow, and hey, with the 1 to 6 LPVO on it, I'm happy with an inch group or 3/4 inch group. So kind of is what it is.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, if you're already familiar with an AR-15 and you can hunt with a semi-auto, even if there's a 5 or 10 round magazine designation, and while you're hunting, who cares? Yeah, go grab your 2 10 round mags, hunt with a 308. So, what do you think of AAC's 5.56 75 grain tipped? I'm pretty sure it's a non-bonded ballistic tip, so great for home defense, great for varmints. I wouldn't use it for deer. Yeah, non-bonded ballistic tips are not for hunting. So, oh well. They take us into camp. Oh, so they're taking you to camp and you're just walking out of the camp like 2 or 3 miles one direction, yeah, take your 12 pound 300 ultra. Who cares? Yeah. So there's elk in western South Dakota, Black Hills. There you go. What's the Glock Model 50 gonna be? Any guesses? LOL. Nope, no guesses. It'll probably be a 9 millimeter, knowing Glock. Be a 7 inch long slide. Um, didn't they for the German police? It was a Glock. What was it? It's going to be like a 46. It was the rotating barrel instead of the lock and breech. You remember that, Steve?
Now I don't remember that. I'm not
They
that
had a
old.
no, no. I mean, the 43 came out a few years ago, and then
Oh,
the Model 46. They just came out with a 47 on the U.S. market. They have
oh,
not come out with a 46 on the U.S. market. Uh, yeah, November 23rd, 2019. Wasn't that long ago. The 3.9 inch, 100 millimeter long barrel features the new Glock Marksman barrel profile, which promises higher accuracy, firing pin. Glock 46 is the first rotating barrel Glock under test.
hmm,
So that would be, um, yeah. So it's a Glock 19 size gun, and it was supposed to be made for the German police, I think, or German military. It's got a flip safety there, you can see. Um, yeah. I would like to see a long slide rotating bolt for Model 50. That would be awesome. Because a rotating barrel. Because I've had the Beretta PX4 before, and that rotating barrel shoots so smooth. Like it doesn't
hmm.
go up at all a lot. If you're shooting
Gets rid of the
handguns.
muzzle. Duke would like that gun.
Yeah, yeah, he
Get rid
would.
of
I
that.
mean, he might actually be able to hit the broadside of a barn from the inside 2 feet away. He may not look. He may not make Jerry Miculek look like stormtroopers, or stormtroopers look like Jerry Miculek anymore. So. For those of you not wondering who we're talking about Chuke's Outdoor Adventure Channel. Um, I I dogged him so bad while in that last video. I cut half of me dogging him out, and he and like I'm still dogging him so bad in that video. He's letting me borrow the guns for the damn video. He's a good guy. He really is.
Yeah, that was a good video.
Yeah. He goes, I wouldn't hit anything in the black. I go, yeah, of course not. You don't even sight in your things. So they'll take us into camp from Dead Horse. Sorry, I should have said that. Yeah. Cannot see that far into the woods. Yeah, you're in the brush guns area. Like I'm going to bring my 338 and 4570 when I come up to see you. All you need is a spear and a bow and get real personal with your next meal. Nope, it might be their next meal too. What would be your dream hunt? Hills and hollers. Hills and hollers. My dream hunt. Hmm. I've always wanted to go for an elk hunt. So that would be my dream hunt, but not here in Alaska. Probably Colorado or Montana. Go for an elk hunt. Hey, can I come hunt elk hunt with you, Steve?
You just come on down. We'll be ready.
Okay. When's the season?
Usually starts rifle season starts the third weekend in October.
Oh wow, that's really late. Is it snow
Yeah,
on the ground by
and
then?
not always.
Okay.
Because you got archery season, and then it transitions into I think it's around October 21st, and then we got a 5 week season. So
Cool.
it gives you plenty of opportunity.
Are the elk coming down from the high mountains then, or are they still up in the high mountains in October?
It just depends on the weather. Last year opening day was 60 degrees, so
Oh yeah,
we
they were
didn't
way
see
up there.
we didn't see too much. Yeah, and we hiked way the heck up there, but nothing where we were at. And then the next weekend it snowed 6 inches, and my son and his wife both got a cow elk. So it just they came right into them, and they were about 250, 300 yards away. So yeah, the snow really makes a huge difference on how the elk move, and it's a
Yeah, I
huge
bet it
advantage.
does. So
Yeah.
for the caribou where I hunt, it's going to be when the mosquitoes die down. When the mosquitoes hit that first chill and they start to die down at night, that's when the caribou move south.
Oh
So
yeah.
when they move off the Arctic plain and start going through the Brooks Range. So
Mhm.
what's your dream hunt since you're on here?
Uh, bighorn sheep. I'd love to get I'd put in for them, and I have never drawn one. So, but that's the one thing I'd like to. My brother-in-law actually got one in the breaks down last year, down around I think it was around Billings or something. But and he got one, and so it's a once in a lifetime draw. If you get one, you're never going to get another one. So I'd love to do that.
Yeah, we only have doll sheep up here. We don't have bighorn.
I'd go for one of them. Yeah.
But I think it's a lot like, so yes, non-resident hunters need to have an Alaska license guide or an Alaska resident relative to hunt Dall sheep in Alaska. Like you have to be first degree relative. Otherwise,
Right.
I'd say, like with my neuropathy in my legs, there's no way I'm climbing the mountain with you. But I'd drive you to the mountain and say, "Good luck. I'm hunting bear down at the base." you know, but I
Yeah.
can't. Yeah. There's actually a place I want to go. It's a trail. A few people know about it, but it's a trail to this lake. But the only way to get to this trail is to cross another lake. So not a lot of people go back there to hunt. And so what I was gonna do is like, you know, use my pack rafts, float across to the trail. It's not that far of a float to get to the trail, and then use maybe not carry my. It's uphill, but it's not horrible. I think you're gaining maybe 700 or 800 feet, and when you once you get to this lake, it's in between these huge mountains, and you can just glass back there for sheep and everything else. Um, they, you know, I think if I did it over Labor Day weekend, I think I have moose, Dall sheep, um, brown bear, and black bear are all three open during that time, and so I could have a four species hunt with a relatively good chance of seeing any of those species. Um, so I've been wanting to do that, but like you have to have a licensed guide to hunt sheep, and I mean, I'd look what it'd take to get me to guide you, but like, and I'd guide you for free, but like, or the cost of the license or something like that, but like, and I'd save you a lot of money because even the cost of the license is going to be less than what a guide would charge you. I mean, a guide's going to charge you 20 grand right there just to hunt.
Mhm.
So is what it is. Are there specific seasons for wolf coyote? Your recognition for caliber and load is guide required. Wolf guide is not required. Coyote guide is not required. There are no seasons on coyote. You can hunt all year round as you want to. I missed one the other night, believe it or not. It was 100 yards away from me. I just threw up and shot and missed it. I was walking. He was walking towards me. I was walking towards him. Big old thick neck on that mother. Yeah, I've got some game cam images of him. He's crazy, crazy big. Like, I had to look. Is that a wolf or is that a coyote? I'm like this close to my house with I was like maybe less than a mile from my house. I'm like this close to my house with my 2-year-old playing in the yard all the time. I don't care if it's a wolf or a coyote, but
Right.
or then the chickens in the neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, but yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, another uh recommendation for caliber. Well, so for for a wolf, you're fine with the 22 250 with a good expanding but hold together bullet like Federal Fusion or Federal Terminal Scent or Federal or Hornady CX or Barnes TTSX or Barnes LR Rex, like any of those bullets, Accubond long range, any of those bullets that stay together and don't necessarily break apart really quickly. You're good with any of those, but the problem is if you run into a brown bear, now you've got a 22 250 versus a brown bear. So
Yeah.
I would say at least get a 6.53 mortar or higher. Get something that's going to break because 22 250 doesn't break that 2,000 foot-pounds. 243 barely does most of the time if you have a longer barrel. I'd say get 6.4, 6.5 Creedmoor or higher for wolf or coyote. That way, if you do run into brown bear, at least you have something that's significantly more powerful than your 44 Magnum on your chest or your 10 millimeter. What do you think? Do y'all have
Yeah,
wolf
you get
seasons there?
down here. We have you have got to buy a tag for wolf, but coyotes are just predators, and it's like shooting a
Yeah,
gopher, you know.
there you go.
And I just use my AR when I'm out there, and if I'm most of the time I don't. If I'm shooting for hides, I just try to find something that's not going to blow up the hide. And so I usually use 50 grain VMAXs that'll just hopefully explode inside. And but if I want something bigger and I'm still got my 223, I'll usually just use some of those 64 grain game loads that I think it's Federal that makes those, or no,
Yeah,
Winchester, I think. Yeah,
yeah. The power
but
points, those
yeah,
are good.
yeah, yeah.
On the Glock 40 KKM barrel, there's an advantage to black ice. Now, I don't know. I have a stainless KKM barrel and it's fine. So I really don't know. What's your opinion on nozzle partitions? Better or the same as copper bullets? The same. I would say the same. They have been known in heavy bone and lighter weights to break off the whole front part, but so are the copper bullets. Like I would say, it's relatively the same. You're going to get better ballistic coefficient with the copper bullets because they're pointed and tipped and boat tailed, whereas nozzle partitions are usually most of the time. Sometimes they're in a Spitzer form where they're pointed, but most of the time they're not Spitzer. They're a little bit more round nose, depending on the caliber and the weight and all that kind of stuff. So, I would say if you've watched the Washington Reloader, if you watch my video on the top 5 best hunting bullets, nozzle partitions are definitely on there. But uh, you know, but yeah, I would say they're the same as copper bullets. So should have no scoped. Yeah, at 100 yards with no iron sights. 165 CX 3550 in the 300 Ultra. That will shed its petals and maybe the core keeps going. That's really fast because that's what happens in 300 Win Mag at 3270. So that you're getting, almost 300 feet per second faster. So that's that 131 grain hammer hunter and 7 millimeter weight at 2950. Um, between those two, that's tough, dude. I'd say be a man and carry the 300 Ultra and let me know how the 165 grain CX does. I'm a school teacher, man. I'm a school teacher. Let's see. Middle of nowhere is where it's at. If you were looking for a budget rifle for all of your big game, would you get a lower priced new one or look for something used? And which models and calibers would you look for? Um, I would probably, if I had to get a budget rifle, define budget, like a good bolt action these days, or they're all over 700, right? You know, $700. So anything below $700, um, I would look at the CVA. the Cascade. That's going to be below $700 and is a good rifle. It has a sub MOA guarantee and with good ammo. I think that's a good gun. Uh, I would not get less than 6.5 PRC for all of big game hunting. That would be the lowest caliber I would go on, like moose and bison and stuff like that. Bison's probably not legal in Canada. I know that the 30-06 is their minimum. So I would look at 7mm rim mag, 300 rim mag, Win mag, 300 Ultra, 300 Weatherby, 338 Win mag, to do all of your stuff with. A 338 Win mag you can load with a 168 grain, and it's a 160 grain TTSX, and it's a heck of a deer slayer. Or would be. I wouldn't know by chance, but yeah. So there is that. Um, I would look at used ones are good. Used Remington 700s, used stuff, but a lot of places charge as much for new used guns as they do new ones. So I'd put all the wear and tear on it myself. I'd get something like a CVA Cascade. I'd stay away from the really cheap rifles like the Axis, but there are times where you can find like really good deals on Palmetto State and even Pro 2A Tactical on bolt action rifles, and you can find Weatherby Vanguards on sale for $500 here and there. So just when I check out my MeWe and my Arms Director page, when they're there, I put them on sale. I put posted links up. So if you haven't been to my MeWe page yet or my Arms Director page, I'll put it in the chat right now, but it's also at the top of the chat. And just go there, check out the deals, and you know, if you're doing for budget rifle, if you're doing a budget rifle for all big game, but you also want to be a home defense rifle, get an 18-inch AR-10. You'll have to change loads for home defense and hunting. Like you don't want a 180 grain partition coming out of there in your house, but you probably want a 110 grain Barnes or a 125 grain Accubon or something like that. But yeah, I would say definitely think about an AR-10 as well, and you can buy those piece by piece, put it together. So
I got to check out of here, Chuck. So
all right, yeah,
we'll
no problem,
we'll
man.
catch
Thanks
you
for tuning
around.
in.
And you betcha. Take it easy,
Yep.
guys.
Text me about the elk hunting. That's something I want to do. Probably not next year. This year, probably next year. All right. Our area can start $1,000 an acre for remote like us. Some can get 10K an acre, which is nuts. Yep. Barn full of barns. Yep. Front pack and backpack to even load. That doesn't make it better. Savage 110 and a 30-06. That'll do it. Where do I find your arms directory page? I just put the link in there. It's in the I just put the link in the chat here. Yep, the 308 AR-10 is legal for deer here. There you go. Good. Savage 300 Win Mag light. It kicks like hell. Best part, 1-inch groups at 200 yards. There you go. Wish mine did that. Elk hunting with a bow in Colorado. There you go. Elk hunting in Alaska is brutal because it's straight up the mountain in those rainy winds. First of all, Eskimos is not a term that we've ever used for any of the natives, but no, I have not. I would like to. Oh, let's see. David, I did something similar with my deer rifle. It's a light 308, and my thought was I have to carry it all day, only to have to deal with the recoil once or twice. There you go. Unless you got to AK Game Ranch, that'd be that'd be fun. What happens if you get to shoot a bear in self-defense? Do you get to keep any meat? Nope, it's state property. Do you know anybody? I hunt big game solo all the time. Would be nice if they had a 10mm dagger, large frame dagger. Yep, I agree with that. I probably have 9 different calibers for hunting here in North Carolina. 243 is all I use. There you go. I use one of the Outdoor Edge change blade knives. So when it gets dull, you just change your blade. That's what I like. Yeah, you're gonna lose knives in the woods, so use cheap knives. I have a 22 and a 300 Win Mag for here in Alaska. Washington, it was Remington 700, 308 deer for in Eastern Washington, and archery for elk. There you go. What's up, Christopher Abernathy? Yes, 7mm mag is enough for large bears, but it would not be my first choice. 338 is probably better. Out of mine, 338 and 300 Win Mag. 375 H&H would be even better, or 375 Ruger, which would be even better. That's where I would go. But yes, you could do it with a 7mm mag. Got to make a good shot. I'd go for a spinal shot in that case. But yeah, you could do it. So there's my arms directory page, Rich B. Let's see. Welcome to the chat. So your favorite caliber and bullet for all around mid to large size game, probably 6.5 BRC. Even though I've never used it to take game, I used my 6.5 by 284 last year, and that's hard to find ammo for. So 6.5 BRC if you want a little bit more oomph to it. I would also say, um, I like all around 7mm Remington Magnum, 145 Green Barnes LRX is what I shoot, and I would take that. I would take anything Alaska with that load. Um, is what it is. Nice. Want to go to Alaska before I leave this world. Come on up. I need a caribou hunting partner this year. Ever come across a Taurus 415 titanium and 41 mag? No, and if I did, I'd throw it away because Taurus guns are trash, especially the revolvers. They get out of time. The cylinder advancement springs break. Um, yeah, I've seen them not lock up before. It's just brand new Taurus Judge sit there and just spin it 7 times in a row. We sent 7 guns back in a row, judges, and plus 1 Taurus tracker. No, I will no. No, I would not. All right, Dave, in a few days, I will have 21 hours of sunlight in 6 months, 3 hours. There you go. Budget scope recommendations to go with that budget big game rifle. LOL. I would look at your Leupold VX3s. Your Arkans are good. Not VX3s. Your VX Freedom Leopolds. That's what I have on most of my rifles is a VX Freedom Leupold. So just depending on how budget you want to get, but I think it was $399.99 for a 4 to 12 with the Tri MOA reticle. So I have some things in my reticle where I can aim at different distances. So, yep. I'm glad you said that about 7mm 145 grain LRX. I've been going back and forth on testing it in my Rimax versus my 7 PRCs. Yeah, I've been thinking about testing it in the 7 PRC too that I'm borrowing from Chuk. I might even use that 7 PRC this year. It's lighter than my 7 Rimac if I can find an accurate load in it. I have 10 boxes of the 145 LRX to load. There you go, man. Send something to me, man. That'll be your guide cost when I bring you hunting next year. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, it's 8 p.m. Yep, sun's still up. I could go outside and garden for 4 hours still. So, is what it is. It's midnight, North Carolina. Yep. Well, guys, that is a long show tonight. So, appreciate Steve from the Montana Musings channel coming in. Yep. Uh, I am hunting with you next year, caribou. Good. Glad I got somebody guaranteed. Bring a pack craft. Gun Hunting Minnesota, and if you hadn't gone to see his channel, go check out his channel. And anybody else that has a channel on here that I missed, like Enigmatic Witchin, good channel. Make sure everybody check them out, guys. Godspeed and good hunting to everyone. And I hope y'all are doing well and have a good night. So, oh yeah, we talked about those pack rafts. So there's a Cocopelli one that is a 2-person, but about half the price and supposed to be pretty durable. At least last me 1 trip. So you might look at that. It's the Cocopelli Twain. I think I sent you the $2,300 or $2,400 alpaca. The alpacas are the best, but the Cocopelli is supposed to have a Kevlar bottom and it's like $1,300 or $1,400. So you might look at that. Text me when I get off of here. So, all right, guys, y'all have a good night. Godspeed and good hunting to all y'all.